The world shattered into a kaleidoscope of white snow and blue ice. 1 second, I was planting my ice axe. The next, the ground gave way. I was falling, tumbling into the frozen heart of the mountain. I landed with a sickening thud, my body screaming in protest. A wave of icy water shocked me back to consciousness. My leg was twisted at an unnatural angle, throbbing with a pain so intense it felt white-hot. I was at the bottom of a crevasse. Above me, a sliver of daylight, a cruel reminder of the world I'd just left. My watch was shattered, but I knew. I had 72 hours, maybe less, before this icy tomb became my permanent grave. Panic, cold and sharp, threatened to consume me. Breathe, just breathe. I had to assess the situation. My right leg was definitely broken, a clean break from the feel of it. My pack, thank God, was still on. Inside were the tools of my survival, or my failure. Rope, a few energy bars, a headlamp, and my ice axes. Not much, but it had to be enough. The first few hours were a blur of pain and frantic activity. I managed to splint my leg using my ice axe and some torn fabric from my pack's rain cover. Every movement sent daggers of agony shooting up my spine. My hands were already numb, my fingers clumsy and slow. I had to get moving, had to fight the encroaching cold that was already seeping into my bones. As the sliver of light above faded, plunging me into absolute darkness, the real battle began. Not just against the cold, but against the ghosts in my own mind. Alone in the silent, crushing dark, memories I'd long buried began to surface. I saw my father's disappointed face the day I told him I was quitting the family business to climb. "You're chasing clouds, son," he'd said. "One day you'll fall." Was this it? Was he right? His voice echoed in the void, a chorus with my own self-doubt. "You're not strong enough. You were never strong enough." I curled into a ball, shivering uncontrollably, tears freezing on my cheeks. The despair was a physical weight, heavier than the tons of ice above me. I must have dozed off, because I woke to the chilling sound of my own teeth chattering. My headlamp cast a ghostly glow on the ice walls, revealing their terrifying beauty. They were smooth, sheer, impossible. But then I saw it. A series of small ledges and cracks, a potential ladder winding its way up one side of the crevasse. It was a long shot, a path for a healthy climber, not a man with a broken leg. But it was a chance. The alternative was to lie here and wait for the end. No, I wasn't going to die like this. Not here. Not today. Fueled by a sudden surge of adrenaline and defiance, I began to prepare. I ate half an energy bar, the sugary paste tasting like the finest meal I'd ever had. I checked my knots, my good hand fumbling but sure. The climb was agony. Every inch was a war. I'd swing my remaining ice axe, praying it would find purchase in the brittle ice. Then I'd haul my broken body upwards, my shattered leg a dead weight, screaming with every movement. Sweat mixed with freezing meltwater, plastering my hair to my forehead. Hours bled into one another. The darkness was absolute, my world reduced to the small circle of light from my headlamp. Time ceased to exist. There was only the next hold, the next breath, the next wave of pain to conquer. The voices returned, louder this time. The voice of my ex-fiancée, her parting words ringing in my ears. "You always run. You never face anything." She was right. I'd run from commitment, from responsibility, from my own fears. I'd run to the mountains, seeking a solitude that was really just an escape. But I wasn't running now. I was climbing. I was facing the ice, facing the pain, facing myself. With each upward pull, I felt like I was shedding a layer of my old self. The doubt, the fear, the regret. I wasn't that person anymore. I was the man hanging by a thread in the dark, fighting for his life. A new thought pushed through the fog of pain. I'm not doing this for them. I'm not doing this to prove my father or anyone else wrong. I'm doing this for me. I want to live. I want to see the sun again. I want to walk on solid ground. This simple, powerful realization was a revelation. It was the fuel I needed. The pain in my leg was still there, but it was distant now, a background noise to the rhythm of my climb. Swing, bite, pull, swing, bite, pull. My headlamp started to flicker. The batteries were dying. Panic, a familiar enemy, flared again. If the light went out, I was done for. I climbed faster, more recklessly, my movements driven by desperation. The ice axe slipped. For a heart-stopping second, I was dangling by one arm, my body swinging wildly. My makeshift splint banged against the ice wall, and I screamed, a raw, primal sound swallowed by the immense silence. But I held on. My fingers, numb and bleeding, gripped the axe handle with superhuman strength. I found a foothold, stabilized myself, and hung there panting, my heart hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. I looked up. Was that a change in the darkness? A faint, greyish light. Dawn. The sight of the morning light, pale and weak as it was like a jolt of pure energy. The top was close. I could feel it. I pushed on, ignoring the screaming protests of my body. My muscles were on fire. My lungs burned with every ragged breath. But I didn't stop. I clawed my way up the final few feet, my fingers raw, my good leg shaking from exhaustion. Then, my hand touched something that wasn't ice. It was snow. Soft, powdery snow. I hauled myself over the edge, collapsing onto the surface, gasping the thin, cold air. I'd made it. I was out. I lay there for a long time looking up at the vast, indifferent sky, a canvas of pink and orange. The world had never looked so beautiful. The pain was still there, a constant companion, but it was drowned out by a profound sense of peace. I had fallen into the void, but I hadn't been consumed. I had climbed out, not just from a crevasse, but from the prison of my own past. I was broken, but for the first time in a very long time, I was whole.